Alright, fam. Welcome back to Pro Pages. We prepping for real now, okay? So I am on week 6. What it do? What the business is? Editing Amber here. First of all, I wanted to pop in and say thank you so much for all the love and support and encouraging words from my previous video, which is the 1 month update, the coach change, all the things. I appreciate y'all. Secondly, for this video, okay, listen, for the first 10 minutes, I don't know, I guess my audio, I didn't have it set up right. There's this weird little ringing sound. If it frustrates you, I understand, girl, just fast forward through the first 10 minutes. However, if it doesn't bother you too much, I just want to let you know so that way you're not like, why does it sound like this? It won't sound like that throughout the whole vlog. Just like the first 10, maybe 12 minutes. Once I get to the gym, it stops. Today is Tuesday, May 12th. Been in prep for 6 weeks. So here's the dealio. This is where we are, right? So this past Friday's check-in was crap, all right? So period, watery, bloated, weight up, all the things. 2 things can be true. I am aware of what's going on with me. Also, annoyed. However, it is what it is. This is just part of the process. Wasn't mad at the look completely. It was evident that this is very much so watery. We are not regressing and it is fat. And that is what I appreciate about Zach, is that he was reminding me of that. And then also, even with the period, we can still see that I am leaner. So I know that when this water falls off, we're going to be tighter. However, we did make a decision. We decided that it is time to push. He said that he's getting a little anxious, but not anxious in a bad way, because I'm feeling the same thing. And that's what I love about us, is like we are like always right on par, thinking the same things. But he was just like, I'm getting a little anxious, not because anything is wrong. I just want to see a little bit more, because my weight has just been doing this ping pong thing, right? Like it'll be up and then it'll drop all the way down, then it'll go back up. So we decided we're going to push. So as of Sunday, I have been on my low training macros, which are, sorry, my no training macros, which are, I'll give them to you. You've grown, don't do it. If you do it, that's on you, sweetheart. I can't be held accountable for grown folks not thinking, okay? So carbs, 120, fat, 65, protein, 160. So this is different. I have not had protein ever go up like that. I don't think. Maybe like a couple of weeks from peak week, but not consistent like this. So since food is low, he upped the protein. Fats, this is another thing that's throwing me off. My fats normally don't be up like this, however, following the plan, but that comes out to 1,754 calories. So I said all that to say, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, we are on day 3 of this. Saturday, I still had my free meal. So every Saturday, I've been doing a steak and sweet potato fries, and it has been glorious. But let me tell you, yesterday, girl, I was feeling it. Yesterday was one of those days where I was hungry all day long, nonstop, couldn't do a thing about it, and it was frustrating to me. So I was doing all the things. I had to, first of all, push through to get my homework done, because guess what? I'm still in school. I have almost been in school generally for 1 full year, and I cannot believe that. If you're new here, I am in school to get my degree in biblical studies and biblical counseling, which is something that I'm very passionate about. Just with my goal is to counsel athletes, physique athletes, anybody within the health and fitness space, anyone who was maybe struggling with, just their body and identity. I don't know. I just have such a heart for athletes. It's just one of those things that came over me when the Lord was doing his transformation on the inside of me. However, working on that, I got one more. This is my last week, and then I will be going into a new semester. So we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep it pushing. It has not been easy. I'm not going to hold you. Last semester nearly took me out. This one almost took me out too, but my best friend, she like got me together. So schoolwork, I slept 9.5 hours yesterday, which what in the world? What in the world? So here's what coach has me doing that's a little bit different. So he has me doing a nighttime weight, which I absolutely hate because I think people that check their weight at night are insane. In my mind, my weight is only accurate when I am standing on that scale butterball naked. Okay, everything off. No earrings, no Apple Watch, no nada. Just that's my real weight. So I'm not gonna hold you. That does mess with me because yesterday my weight was 154.2, and then when I got on the scale last night, it was 157.8. And I was like, listen, this is a little bit ridiculous. However, checked it again this morning and it was 154. I am not someone who gets upset. Like I am not someone who can't handle seeing what my weight is every day. Like I like doing that because I like logging and I like the scientific part of it. It's not going to throw me off weighing myself. Now you do you. You got to be aware. And this is where folks go wrong. They try to be somebody that they're not. I ain't never going to try to be somebody that I'm not. I know there are certain things that AP can't handle. And she just simply don't do them. Why? Because the word says to guard your heart. So therefore, if you are someone who cannot handle stepping on the scale every single day, baby girl, guard your heart. All right. So we're doing that. Checking my glucose. I have a glucose monitor. This was to see if I was insulin resistant or if I had some stress going on. That's been fine. Nothing there. And my salt. So he has me putting an extra 1/4 teaspoon of salt on my food, which I hate. However, I've been struggling with feeling like I was going to pass out. And so finally I was like, hey, yo, Zach, can low sodium make you want to feel like you can pass out? He's like, yeah, girl, why? He's like, you're going to pass out? And I'm like, yeah. And he said, oh, okay, well, why don't you do this? And we did that and it worked. I happen to feel like I'm going to pass out. But anywho, what do we have on the menu for today? What are we doing? I think those are all the updates that I have. Hold on. So period weight, time to push. Yeah, that's it. Right now, I'm getting ready to eat, and then we got to go to the gym. All right. So while I am waiting for my food to heat up, I'm watching one of my favorite podcasts. It's full-fledged. It's Priscilla Shire and her son JC. First of all, there's not many humans that I admire. Priscilla Shire, I just think she is the epitome of what it means to be a solid Christian woman. She is so eloquent. She is so beautiful. She is, you can just tell she is a kind human. She cares about people. She cares about souls, how she presents herself, how she speaks. I'm like, you are a specimen of a human being, and she is just someone that I admire. However, if you are looking for, good spiritual Christian podcast, highly recommend. And Priscilla Shire is just, she's everything. So funny. Before I even knew who she was, when I was working as a cosmetics counter manager, I had people say to me, you look like Priscilla Shire. You remind me of Priscilla Shire. And I didn't know who she was at the time. And then probably that was 2023, 2024 is when I saw her for the first time. I was like, oh, this woman is amazing. I didn't think anything of it. And then a couple of months later, someone says, oh my gosh, you kind of remind me of Priscilla Shire. And at that point, I was like, are you high? Have you seen this woman? You clearly don't know who I am. Because, first of all, that is a very, very, very top of the line compliment that you could give me, because I ain't nothing like that lady. But I was just like, thank you, I'll take it. If I could be like just a tish encouraging and as inspirational as she is, okay, cool. However, I just wanted to share that because that's what we're watching while we eat. And the meal that we're having, we are having ground beef, a little sad portion of rice with some avocado And I'm going to throw some lettuce, some romaine lettuce on here. This is how I know I'm hungry. When I start adding romaine lettuce, that means things is getting real, okay? We prepping for real. I really do not feel like going to the gym. I am sleepy. I am sleepy. I am sleepy. I am sleepy. I am sleepy, and I have no energy because, well, food is low, and I'm also sleepy because period. So my period has already shifted. I am someone who has like a crazy murder scene flow. Something that I noticed was when I paused over the summer from prepping and I just let my body find homeostasis and get back to baseline, I found that my flow was heavy. However, my PMS symptoms went away. Last week, I had a moment where, first of all, I was dealing with a lot of just mental, spiritual warfare, but I was trying to figure out, okay, is this the PMS coming back or is it spiritual warfare? Honestly, I'm going to keep the buck. I was like, I hope this is just spiritual warfare and this is just a one-off because I don't want to keep dealing with these crazy emotional PMS feelings. However, I notice I notice the leaner I get, the lighter my flow is. My flow is super, super light, and we're not even lean yet, so that was weird. But also, I'm scared that I'm going to get the PMS symptoms again. So y'all pray for me. Pray, all right? So right now I'm just making my little intra workout. This is crucial for me to ensure that, you know, your girl maintains in the gym. I don't fade out. I don't want to fade out. And most importantly, keep me hydrated. So I'm going to do Gatorade Zero. And then I'm going to do some amino energy. I don't like stim. I don't want to feel like a crackhead. I'm itching. I don't want my body sizzling and scratching, none of that. This is amino energy, so it's hydration and focus. It's got like 200 mgs of caffeine in it. So, I mean, that's like a coffee, a soda. Nothing crazy there. I'm going to do a scoop of that. And then, what else am I doing? My mind just went blank. Oh, creatine. Jesus. I'm so sleepy. I did not sleep well last night either, so that's no fun. Caesar kept me up. Y'all, my Caesy boy, he's getting up there. He's 11 years old, and he just has not been sleeping through the night due to his skin allergies bothering him, and it's just been a time in the Patchlock household. So please say a prayer for Senior Caesar because, listen, it's hard out here. And then I'm going to put some salt. Salt to help with the pump. And that's it. Let's go to the gym. Our meal. I am so hungry. Chicken, green beans, like a little scoop of rice, cause, ooh, child. Let's eat. Somebody took me to bark. My goodness. Okay, guys, so meal is done. When I got home from the gym, I crashed. I went to sleep. Love made me go to sleep. That was the absolute worst gym session I've had in quite some time. Rocket, please be quiet in the name of Jesus. Thank you so much. That was terrible. I was exhausted. I had no strength. This was the first training session with the low calories, so that was big fun. On top of just feeling tired from period and not getting, good night's sleep last night. So I just came straight home and crashed. I was so tired, I wasn't even hungry. So had that meal. I feel like a new creation. It's amazing what sleep will do. It's amazing what sleep will really do. Like, it was a good sleep. Good sleep. So now Lo and I are about to go get ourselves a little coffeezinho, and then we're gonna push through the rest of the evening. You have anything you want to say to the vlog? You don't want to say anything to the vlog? Why are you? What happened to all these big ideas? Like, oh, Amber, we're gonna vlog. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. Say hi. Are you being shy?
No, I have to.
Your hair has looked way.
No, wait. You don't have to post on that. Relax. You always have to do it in moments. Come on.
Because the moment. All right. Flo and I got some steps in. I am showered. I'm feeling way better than I did earlier. It is so amazing what sleep can do, y'all. Training today was absolutely trash. I didn't even get all of my movements. I think I got maybe 3 out of the 6, I believe, 6 that I had. It was hard. It was hard. It was hard because obviously low energy from period. It was hard because it was the first training day with low calories. I was just like, oh, okay. Strength, where are you? However, once I got home and I took that nap, all was well with the world. It revived me. So right now I'm waiting for my client. I have a counseling call with the client. And then we're gonna call this bad boy a night. We done for the day, fam. It is the next day. It is 8:37 a.m. I'm just getting my last homework assignment done for this semester. I did not sleep well. I did not sleep well at all. I don't know. I have always loved this, and I think for me it's because I like tracking things. So I've been tracking my sleep. This is something that Alexis and I used to do like religiously when we first started bodybuilding, because both of us just like love all the data and the analytics of it. My sleep score was absolute trash. It was 74, and I got about 5.5 hours of sleep because Caesar, oh my God, I don't know what's going on with my boy. Well, I kind of do. But so first of all, his skin allergies, for some reason at nighttime, is when his skin allergies go haywire. I'm not gonna hold you. I drugged him last night. At least I called myself drugging him. I gave him a little Benadryl because he was doing it the night before as well. He'll get up, he'll start walking around, he's scratching, he's crying. But he likes to go outside at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we take him out for the last call. Merlo took him out, and then I was still up, so I took him out at 11:30. And then probably 15 minutes later, he cried for about 30 minutes. Here's the thing. He didn't want to go outside. He didn't have to use the bathroom. He just wanted to walk. So he's been doing like these 2 a.m., 3 a.m. wanting to go outside situations, and it is wrecking me. So I am very sleepy right now. I do have a client today. She's actually, I don't know, she's a competitor. She wants to trial her hair for Junior USA's. So we're going to do that at noon. And then I am probably going to come home and take a nap because I'm not well. I am not well. So let's get the day rolling. Oh, weight dropped. So we are back down to 153.4. Again, not my lowest. My lowest that I hit was 152. I'm pretty sure by Friday, I'm probably going to hit 151. So let's keep pushing on. You know, these push days ain't easy. These low calorie days ain't easy. However, it's just part of the process and something that I have to remind myself. And I like to remind other athletes as well, is that first of all, we need to remind ourselves that we're literally starving ourselves for fun. We're not starving, but you feel me? Like these low calorie days that I'm having, this is someone's norm, or they're used to operating and functioning on less. Now, this isn't to minimize the fact that, hey, I'm hungry. These are just the facts, but also understand that this is for a short period of time. We have to learn to look at these things as analytics, as data, as research and development. These low days, this is not meant for me to live on. This for long term. This is not something that I can function on for long term. Because what happens is athletes, once they do get lean and they get addicted to being lean, not all, but some, and they want to hold on to the lines and the striations and whatnot, it messes with their psyche because they do not have an understanding that, hey, that specific caloric deficit, those specific low macros were only for one purpose, and that is for the stage. We cannot, we will not, and we do not try to maintain that because you will not have a sound mind. All right? That's not how we are made up as women. We're not made to be lean like that long periods of time. And then, hello, hormones, your mental health, it's just going to go in the gutter. So I just wanted to put that out there for a second because I felt it on my heart. But Lord, last night I was so grieved. I was so grieved. I'll come back to that because this is like a whole conversation, a whole topic. It's a teaching moment, which I hate myself for this, but I'll touch on that in a minute. Done working. So Shay is actually competing in 2 weeks Junior USA. She just wanted to do some trial things with her hair, which I was like, absolutely. She said, I hope you didn't think I was crazy. I'm like, girl, don't make no difference to me. It is your hair. It is your show day. And either way, I'm getting paid. But she's super, super sweet. She's doing Fit Model Junior USAs. I'm hungry. All right. There's just like, I went to bed hungry. I woke up hungry. It's the perpetual hunger. And I'm sharing this because I know a lot of y'all are on prep right now and you're hungry. And the common question that a lot of athletes get asked is, how do you handle hunger? What do you do about hunger? Girl, you just be hungry. All right. Sometimes you just got to sit in it. Things that are my best friend right now, tea. Zero sugar, Dr. Pepper, the different flavor sodas. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I actually bought some tea this morning when I was at Harris Teeter because I had to pick up some more food. But I'm just kind of like, okay, I got to get through today. And then I got to get through tomorrow. And food is coming on Friday. We're more than halfway there. Weight dropped this morning. I know weight would have been lower if I got more than 5.5 hours of sleep. However, it is what it is. Tonight, we get in our butts in bed. So I really don't have anything else going on today. I'm going to go home, eat. I'm probably going to take a nap, do some homework, and just sit around the house and be hungry. And that's that. I really don't have the capacity for anything else. 9:38 p.m. Alrighty, it is the next day, Thursday, May 14th, and I'm struggling. Alright, so it is day 5 of this low carb situation, and I am feeling it. And what I'm feeling now is just my body just wants to stop. So I am off from work today. Today's a rest day. But the thing about it is, like, my body just physically wants to do nothing. I still need to move around, and it's just frustrating. Like I was telling Alexis, I have trained myself to believe that I should only feel like this when I'm lean, and I am obviously not lean. So it breaks my brain, and it makes me feel like, okay, well, you haven't done enough to feel this way, so suck it up. But at the same time, as you know, every prep is different. At the same time, a caloric deficit is a caloric deficit. Going from, you know, having higher days. What were my high days for my training for before we pushed? Where are we? Okay, so on training days, I would be a little over 2,000 calories. My non-training days is 1,700. So I've been doing the 1,700. This is day 5 of that because we're pushing. Like, that's the point, like to push to get things going. And I will be glad to get some food tomorrow, because the thing that I find the most difficult for me is training like this. I told Lo, listen, sweetheart, you on your own this week, because we've been training together, and he doesn't normally get off until about around 2:30. Sometimes he gets off, he'll come home for a little bit, and then, you know, if they need help, like he'll go back to help. But we train like around 3:30. But because the majority of my energy is from morning until about 2 o'clock, I gotta train somewhere in there. So I think right now, just to keep me moving, I think I'm just gonna go to the bookstore and walk around for a little bit, because I could just sit here like a blob and do nothing. However, that is not helpful. So we are coming up on seven. We're coming up on 7 weeks in prep, and I guess in the grand scheme of things, it is time to start feeling some stuff. This is definitely a shorter prep. I've never done a shorter prep before either, so that scares me a little bit. All things are new. However, Zach wasn't worried about it. When we started off, he said we were in a good starting spot. So I'm like, okay, cool. And even like my weight for the past couple of days, it's frustrating, because I know I am in a deficit. I can feel I am in a deficit, and I can also look like, y'all, my butt is smaller, okay? I put on some underwear last night. I say, hey, yo, Lo, the underwear that my butt was eating up because my butt was too big for them, they fit now. So I can visually see, physically feel that we are smaller. So I'm just hoping that the scale reflects that tomorrow morning, because I'm not gonna hold you. Yes, I understand the scale is just a tool, but I have been feeling away for the past couple of days. So if the scale don't reflect the way that I've been feeling for the past couple of days, I am going to be very frustrated. However, we're going to continue the show. 2 things can be true. You can be frustrated, vent about it, but we're still going to keep pushing on, because prep is not linear. It doesn't matter if it's your first time, your 15,000th time, doesn't matter if you're an amateur, doesn't matter if you're a pro. All of us go through the same thing, all right? Don't ever think that just because a pro is a pro that they don't deal with these things. That is a lie, okay? The only difference between you and a pro is just that, the IFBB pro card. Everything else, all things are the same. I'm a girl just like you, all right? So I'm going to get out of the house. I don't want to. Just want to stay inside the house. And I'm going to get out of the house. I'm going to go to the bookstore. I'm going to see if I can. I'm debating getting a new Bible. I don't know. I've been looking at some content from just like Bible highlighting, and it kind of got my brain thinking. But also, like, I don't like minutia. Like, I like for things to be simple, and some of the things that people have been saying that they do, I'm like, my brain just cannot do that. And while I got you, okay, let's chat about this too. So last night I was talking to Lauren, my best friend. I've had the same best friend since I was 12 years old, and I told her something that I've really been sitting with is I need to 100% surrender and lean in to the way that the Lord has designed me, and be exactly the woman that he has designed me to be. I know for years I have always felt like, and I think I've said this a while ago, but I have always been a little bit afraid of myself. And I'm not afraid of much, but I'm just afraid of a little bit afraid of myself. And as I've matured, as I've unpacked this, as I've prayed and, talked to wise counsel about it, I think it's because I am aware that the Lord has put something else on the inside of me. And it's just scary. It's just a little bit scary. And just some things that I have been noticing about my heart and desires shifting. It is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable. However, that too is part of the process. So going back to, instead of trying to make myself fit into what I believe, my industry or what the world or what others says I need to operate in the way that God has designed me and what He says I should be doing, not what others say. Because here's the other thing too, like even people within your circle, people within your ecosystem, they know you, they mean well. However, in your knower, in your spirit, in your soul, in your gut, when you can feel that the Lord is truly trying to shift you and move you into a very specific direction, and it might be different from what people think or what your current life looks like you should be doing. It is scary, but at the end of the day, I've learned that I have to stop running from the things that the Lord has told me to do. I have to stop running from the woman that the Lord needs me to be, because He don't need me to be this for me. He needs me to be this because to help others. It has nothing to do with me. And that's the other thing that I have to try to reckon with as well, because we can become so egocentric. We can become so me. Focusing on yourself is probably like the biggest idol worship ever, right? And so when I strip that away and I look at it as, okay, God's telling me to do something. I belong to Him. If He's telling me to do this, I know it's right. It's okay to be afraid. It's kind of like it's giving Acts 9 when the Lord told Ananias to go and lay hands on Saul. And he was like, I don't want to do that because he been killing us and persecuting us. And I love in that moment, and the reason why this is fresh at the top of my head is because I just finished my Acts class and I had to prepare a Bible study on the passage of Acts 9. But I love that we could see that Ananias was honest about being scared. He was honest about his feelings, because sometimes we go through life, or we go through situations, and these things are scary. They're uncomfortable. Or maybe the Lord is telling you to do something and it is scary and it's uncomfortable. It's okay. Just because you're scared, just because you're uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that you lack faith. It doesn't mean that you're a bad Christian. It doesn't mean that you don't believe in the Lord. It means that you're human. It's okay to be human. God sent Jesus here down in the flesh to be a human. You don't think Jesus was scared on His way to the cross? Huh? You don't think He was feeling things? He knew what He was called to do. He knew He had something to do, but also He was scared. He cried out, my Lord, why have you forsaken me? He was bleeding. He was sweating blood on the cross for you and me. So what does that tell us? Two things can be true. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to not understand, but it's not okay to be disobedient. I don't know where this came from because I had no energy. However, that was from the Holy Spirit. All right. So I'm going to see y'all tomorrow for check-ins. I just realized that I texted Zach, but I was like, I forgot that I was actually supposed to send you photos and videos this morning. My bad. So let's see what he says real quick. It's okay. How are you feeling? All right. So let me talk to Coach, and then I'll see y'all in the morning for check-ins. What is up, you guys? It is Friday. It is check-in day, and I am behind. When I tell you I'm behind, I am behind. It is 12:21 p.m., but it is okay. I had to take my mom to the airport this morning, so that means I had to wake up at 5, and we don't live by the airport anymore. We live 30 minutes away from the airport, and then, of course, I got caught in Charlotte rush morning traffic on the way home, so by the time I got back home, it was 7 o'clock, and I said, you know what, I'm going to take my behind back to sleep. Of course, I didn't fall right asleep probably till about 7:45, and then when I woke up again, it was 9. I was like, oh, snap. I slept too long, but something in my spirit just didn't feel right. I didn't feel rested. And something that I was thinking about yesterday was I need to do a better job at taking advantage of the perks that I simply have in my life. Everyone's lifestyle is different. Everyone has advantages that they are able to take that others may not want to, that others may not be able to take because it doesn't work for their lifestyle. For me, I make my own schedule. If I don't have to work at 9, which I never start working at 9, why am I waking up at 5:30, 6 o'clock? There's no need, especially when I know I need to be prioritizing sleep. If I mainly work in the evenings and midday, I feel tired, guess what I need to do? I need to take a nap. Now, please do not come up in these comments talking about something, well, I'm a mom, or I'm this, or I have that. I'm not talking about you, okay? And we need to do a better job at stop projecting our troubles or our woes or whatever it is on someone else, because I see this a lot. And no shade, I love my mamas, but sometimes y'all can be the worst. Oh, well, I'm a mom. Oh, well, you're not. I'm just kind of like, okay, just because I'm not a mama don't mean I'm not busy doing other things. That means I got more time to fill doing a bunch of probably nonsense that I don't need to be doing. Anywho, can we please just not do that? Because everyone has a different life, and you need to take the liberties that the Lord has provided you in your life. So that's what I got going on. However, we had a massive drop, okay? 3-pound drop. And it's so funny because you would think, oh yeah, 3-pound drop. That means I look great. Girl, I started doing my posing and I look like a freaking soggy noodle. Soggy noodle. Whatever. We're going to keep it moving. So it just goes to show that just because the number dropped, it doesn't always mean that your brain's going to be like, oh yeah, I look great. No, most of the time that's how it is. There have been times when the weight has gone up and I'm like, yo, I like how I look right now, but I'm flat. We've had 5 days of low carbs. Coach actually just responded and said, what did he say? Yeah, all right, he wants, come on, homie. Stay on non-training diet today and replace a meal. Boo. But we get steak and sweet potato tonight, so that's amazing. And then I gotta check in tomorrow, so I'll do that. And then, oh yeah, voice note as far as just training decline. Yeah, like when food is low, the first thing that goes is my strength. That's just the way it is. So, that's just part of it. Your strength will decline. I don't have anything, I'm not utilizing anything to assist me with that. So it's just like, okay, we just gonna keep on cranking through. We're gonna keep on blasting through. And I'm tired, but I'm in a good mood. I'm in good spirits. So in my pro pages, all right, so the first log for this week is done. So I've logged my weight, my glucose, my heart rate, my mood, my energy, my sleep, my digestion, and my mental. So my mental has been good this week all across the board, but my mood and energy have not been so good. Let's see, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, mood and energy. Mood was mid, energy was not good. However, also, I was wrapping up my period. So the last day for my period was on Tuesday. And then once Wednesday came, things started going on the up. I am really enjoying being able to look back and just get a bigger picture, like zoom out and see exactly what's going on. And then also you can start to pick up on some trends as well, right? So I wrote down on Tuesday that I had low strength, hunger, period was done, and I didn't sleep well. And then let me see, did I have any other things that I had here? Training was not easy today. That was on the dog. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it. And then I'm pretty sure y'all saw this in another video, but if you haven't seen it, I'll show you here. Like, it's so cool to like have all these. So these are all of my check-ins from April. So at the end of May, I'll put all of those in there, and then we will get to go through and look at the changes from there. So, all right, so that's it. We are wrapping up week 6. We are moving into week 7. I have no idea if I'm vlogging next week, or I don't know what I'm doing. Anywho, we're taking it 1 week at a time, child. Thank y'all so much for being a part of the journey of the Pro Pages series, and I'll see y'all in the next video.